Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the coronavirus. So recently, the coronavirus outbreak occurred. Started out in China. A lot of people were infected. Many have died too. So I just wanted to put out some information that I know about it and some that I researched about it. So let's begin. Coronavirus by Educated Tuber. What is the coronavirus? So the coronaviruses are a group of viruses that cause disease in mammals and birds. In humans, the viruses cause respiratory infections, which are typically mild, such as the common cold. Some include the SARS and MERS, SARS and MERS, which are very lethal diseases. Structure of the coronavirus particle. So these gray-looking flower buds on the exterior, on the outside, are called the spike, right here. And on this image, they are the exterior orange things that look like signs. Next is the nucleocapsid, which is this green slinky kind of thing in the center of the cell. So the nucleocapsid on here is right there. Then we have the envelope protein E, which is right here on this image and right here on this image, which are these orange globs looking things. So those are the envelope protein E. And last but not least, we have the membrane protein M, which are these yellow looking connectors. They don't exactly connect the spike, but it looks as if they're connecting, and they're located right here, here, and here, all around the cell. So the membrane protein on this image is going to be right here, connecting, looking as if it's connecting the spike. Proteolytic replication. So you may have heard of lysogenic and lytic replication. Those are two very common forms of replication that cells use. If you've seen my last PowerPoint, the Zika virus, it used lysogenic replication. So this coronavirus uses proteolytic replication. So first, with their 5' protein, with their S protein, coronaviruses bind on cell surface molecules such as the metalloprotease and amino acid peptidase, which are accessorily have the HE protein. So the HE protein is a specific type of protein, and that also can bind on to the acid, neurominic acid, that serves as a co-receptor. So it can bind onto the neurominic acid, and that neurominic acid can serve as a co-receptor. Next, okay. So far, it's not clear whether the virus can get into the host cell by fusion of a viral and cell membrane, or by receptor-mediated endocytosis, in that the virus is incorporated via an endosome, which is subsequently acidified by proton pumps. In that case, the virus has to escape destruction and transport to the lysosome. Since coronaviruses have a single positive stranded RNA genome, they can directly produce their proteins and new genomes in the cytoplasm. At first, the virus synthesizes its RNA polymerase that only recognizes and produces viral RNAs. This enzyme synthesizes and minuses strand using the positive strand as a template. Also, the negative strand serves as a template to transcribe smaller genomic positive RNAs, which are used to synthesize all other proteins. And this negative strand can serve for a replication of new positive stranded RNA genomes. So the N protein is another type of protein, and it binds genomic RNA, so a type of RNA, genomic RNA, and protein M is integrated into the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum, other words ER. So that is right here, the endoplasmic reticulum, and protein M and protein M, so the ER. So it binds integrated into the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum, like the envelope proteins S and HE. After binding, assembled nucleocapsids with helical-twisted RNA bud into the ER lumen and are encased with its membrane. So this is the budding right here. Budding happens like this. And these viral progeny are finally transported by Golgi vesicles. So I've heard it two ways, Golgi, Golgi. So you can call it either Golgi vesicles to the cell membrane and are exosed into the extracellular space. So it enters right here, the attachment and entry, goes like this, then to the ER and the protein M and N, and then with the process of budding, it exits the cell. And so that's how the coronavirus replicates. Where the pathogen attacks the body. So the coronavirus attacks the respiratory cells of a human being. And this image is the respiratory system of a human. So it attacks any cells in the respiratory system. How the coronavirus can kill and its symptoms. So the coronavirus has symptoms that are very similar to the common cold. For example, a runny nose, a cough or a sneeze, a sore throat, and fever or high temperature. And the coronavirus can spread airborne, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the transmission slide. Prognosis and life expectancy. So out of all the people that are infected with coronavirus, 82% of those cases are mild symptoms, and those symptoms aren't very effective. They're not like very severe. So small cough or a couple sneezes. And 15% of them are severe, and 3% are critical. So 15% have a bit more severe symptoms, like a lot more coughing, more fever, higher fever, and 3% are very critical. The death rate of the coronavirus stands less than 2%, which is a really good thing because not many people are dying from it, which is good and safe. And if you want to compare to a different coronavirus, for example, SARS, it had a fatality rate of 9.6%. Now, 9.6 compared to 2 is quite a bit of a difference. Epidemiological triangle. So the agent here is the coronavirus. The host is birds and mammals and animals. The environment is mainly where there is a lot of human beings. And it is said that the coronavirus started out from a snake, but scientists have not completely figured out whether it was a snake or whether it was a fish or any other animals. So many scientists believe that it was a snake. So if a snake does have a coronavirus, it can get infected. It's infected. Somebody eats that snake, then it can get spread. The vector, there is no vector for the coronavirus. So yeah. Now the transmission side. So it's airborne. The coronavirus is airborne, and exchange of bodily fluids. It's very similar to influenza. So if you do catch the influenza and you cough, sneeze on somebody, they can also get it, and an exchange of bodily fluids. So blood transfer. Pandemic, endemic, or epidemic. So let's go through these words just before I say what it is. So an endemic disease is when it's spread worldwide, but it's not extremely severe. It's like cases all around. A sporadic disease is only a few places. So not all around the world, just a couple places, and nowhere else can be found. An epidemic disease is only in one place, and there's a lot of it. And last but not least, a pandemic disease is worldwide, there's a lot of it. So, is the coronavirus an epidemic, pandemic, or endemic? So, the coronavirus used to be an endemic in China. It is now an epidemic and will soon transfer into a pandemic if no cure is found. Prevention. So, to reduce your risk of coronavirus, you should always clean your hands with soap and water, cover your nose and mouth if you're coughing or sneezing, and avoid contact with anyone with a cold because symptoms are very similar. So they may have the flu, you may think, but in reality, they could have the coronavirus. And avoid unprotected contact with live, wild, or farm animals because you never know what animal has a coronavirus. Vaccines. So there are no vaccines currently, but scientists are quickly developing vaccines, and they should be in the use by the end of 2020. For example, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, is working on a vaccine, but vaccines do take time, and many scientists say that it should be out by the end of 2020 and can be in use. Treatment. So, wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid close contact with people who are sick, and stay home when you're sick. Cover your cough or sneeze, and clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. So if teachers in school or places are cleaning down tables, it'll prevent and treat the coronavirus because symptoms are very flu-like. Origin. So the coronavirus started off in Wuhan, China, specifically the Hubei province. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. And then it slowly spread all around. So in January 20th, there were 291 cases. And January 22nd, there were 446 cases and started spreading all around Wuhan. And January 24th, there were 864 cases. So as you can see, this color means like 1 to 50 cases. So in all of these places, there were 1 to 50 cases. And this one, there was in Wuhan, there were more than 500. And then this one right here, I don't know what it is. There is 51 to 100 cases. January 26, 2021 cases, and it's spreading more. January 28th, there's 4,524 cases and a lot more. Still only one more than 500, which is Wuhan. The rest are 101 to 500, and these are still 1 to 50, and 51 to 100. And it has spread much more, but only Beijing, I think, is more than 500, and Wuhan is more than 500, but the rest are still less than 500. So now it has spread much further and is now all over the world. In Australia, in the United States, in Italy, Europe, India. So there are cases everywhere. Many people are getting quarantined just so that they're being quarantined for if they have the coronavirus, so it doesn't infect others. Eradication. So there's only one way that they're eradicating is quarantining anyone who has the virus. So if you have the virus, then you get quarantined for a little bit until it's gone, because they have no cure for it, no antibiotics, no vaccines, and just stop letting it spread. So if you have any questions, comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible and answer those. And here is the bibliography. That's page 1, page 2, page 3. So, did a lot of research for this, and thanks for watching.